Roughly 2 years back, some second-hand goods shop in our town had a closing down sale. I got home and my father had bought loads of music CDs pretty cheap, and supposedly some PS1 game. I walked upstairs, opened my door, and saw this. And this. Why, thank you, dearest father. TechnoMage Return of Eternity was made by German company Sunflowers and released in 2001 by Infogrames, only in Europe. So already, everything about this game seems unknown and unloved, so perfect for me. The game actually sounds quite good. 8 graphically sumptuous and varied worlds with over 20 different regions, over 200 intriguing characters and adversaries, hours of excitement and action. Full English version, fuck yes! Well, let's see if it meets my expectations. After some cool logo screens and a nice FMV story opener, we gain control of the hero, Melvin, an outcast in society. The plot takes place in Gothos, a land partially inhabited by the Dreamers and Steamers. The Dreamer town is full of art, gardens and natural beauty, and they rely heavily on their magical abilities. Whilst Steamer Town is full of metal, rocky land and industrial power, and hence they rely on their machines to get by. Melvin is the only known person ever born from a Dreamer mother and a Steamer father, breaking an ancient sacred law to keep the two cultures separate, and making him unaccepted by the Dreamers he lives with and their endless flood of pretentious prejudice. It's an interesting background actually for the game's world and creates a protagonist we can sympathise with and want to succeed. So in true RPG fashion, let's go speak with our caring mother, who I'm sure—
Good morning,
Christ,
Melvin.
Quiet,
Have you
jeez.
finally woken up?
Why is the voice acting so damn loud? Okay, well, I guess I shouldn't complain because actually every character, even the NPCs, seem to be fully voice acted. Very impressive. They have met my high expectations. The voice acting is alright for the most part, but some of it is bloody terrible. Right, Linton.
Oh, Melvin. Have you been to the Dragon Fountain today? Mr. Saris is wandering about there murmuring something about eyes and roses. I don't understand what he's saying.
So our mother wants us to go see her uncle, but he isn't back until 5. So what? Do I do something else, or just wait it out? Well, the first thing I must praise is the overall presentation. The camera is fixed at this isometric view, turned by L1 or R1, giving a very nice angle on the environments. Perspective can be a bit awkward at times, but it's isometric, so deal with it. The visuals themselves are pretty good. I like the solid 3D landscapes, contrasting the lively 2D character models. I'm also loving the lighting. It works beautifully in its environments, and crossed with a really pleasant orchestral soundtrack, makes a very classic fantasy atmosphere, almost Tolkien-esque. The locations are full of unnecessary but charming little details and descriptions that help the game's mood and make the world feel alive. It's clear a lot of care went into this. The game's interface is intuitive and the controls, while basic and as stiff as my communication skills, okay, sorry for the hyperbole, work alright and do what they need. However, Melvin turns left or right with the camera. Not that this is a problem now, but I could see this making movement in battles a little tricky. But it's isometric, so deal with it. The map and quest log are accessed with the press of a button, and saving can be done at any time, which always brings a little joy to my stone cold heart. Okay, sorry for the hyperbole. You'll be wanting to use the map quite a lot, as trying to navigate without it is almost like being blind. But I wish the quest log had more to it, as I'm still not entirely sure what I'm doing. I've been exploring a bit and it seems no time has passed, but when I do what looks like a side quest, it becomes the next hour, so do I wait, or are these side quests actually not optional? I assume I need to do these as just waiting, though I guess you could say helps the immersion. Seems like some horrible game design. Okay, so again, it's 4 o'clock, only one quest to do, or I need to wait some more, I still haven't a fucking idea, and I haven't a clue where to even begin looking. I spent the last 30 minutes just walking and speaking to the Guardian of Time, or as it should be called, glorified clock, hoping that I can move on. For an RPG, there's a surprising lack of any sort of roleplay. This may as well be a social simulation, because nobody wants to have to fetch quests just to kill time. Oh yeah, the actual story. Completely forgot. Well yeah, so one day Melvin wakes up from a bad dream, and there's been an earthquake, and monsters attacked Steamertown, and everyone blames old Mel the outcast, because discrimination. So then Melvin must escape to Steamertown and do a thing. The story really isn't nearly as good as the background details to the plot. It's probably still just getting started, yeah, but damn if it's taking its time. Anyway, yeah, I know he's a child born from the breaking of a sacred law, but why is everybody such an asshole to Melvin? What has he ever done?
Tell me, you half-dreamer, are you trying to pull an old man's leg? I've got far better things to do than answer your stupid questions.
What are you still doing here? Get out of here! You only bring bad luck!
I won't play with anyone who can't do magic properly. How many times do I have to tell you? You do better to read some books.
The only NPC that seems to be okay with him is goddamn Linton.
Hi, Mel. I don't understand the other dreamers. I believe you are a good fellow. In time, you'll be able to convince the others of your innocence. Just stay as helpful and friendly as you are, despite all the prejudice against you.
Okay, so after getting some guy a rose that he probably could have gotten from literally anywhere, we get some more Melvin hate, and then finally it's 5. Once we meet our Uncle Risson, we must get his compass from the cellar. And in such original fashion, we fight our first enemy. It's a rat. Okay, so I guess the combat is meh. It's pretty basic. Hit enemy, don't let enemy hit you. Just aim for them and mash square, nothing special. Like I feared, the camera makes combat more awkward than needed, but you can basically just wait for the foe to walk to you and then spam the attack button. Hopefully combat becomes a little more advanced later on with magic and more complex enemies, so I guess starting with the basic ones should help to adjust to the game's rather hard to adapt to controls and camera. Oh, a boss. Oh, it killed me. Oh, there is no checkpoints or second chances. Oh, I haven't saved since 40 minutes ago. Oh, I need to do all that crap again. Oh, please just end me. So we get some compass. We're told to flee to Steamertown to stay with my father, so we need to get our mother to drug the guard, and all the time Mel just stands there gazing at a couple flirting with each other like a creep. So we get to Steamertown, and the mood of the game has actually changed very sharply, yet still somehow wasn't jarring. Steamertown is much less generic than Dreamertown, but our father isn't home and the door is locked, so we need to go to the mines to get an ore, to get a metal, to get a key. And now the boring fetch quest gameplay stops, replaced with frustratingly dark, maze-like dungeons, where I can't see crap, filled with more awkward combat, no idea where the hell I should be going, and another hour and a half I could be revising for those exams I have come— oh fuck! Oh, please. Just give me the water temple. Anything. Just not these long, bland, tedious, confusing, unfun, unsatisfying bare labyrinths of rock. So once I got out, and since that took so long, probably presumed dead, we get no story progression, or at least none that I care about as much as I care about anything, and we're back in another dungeon already. And then out. Because I was so bored I forgot to save last time, I need to do that last cave over again and get those sleeping pills and red wine out. So in conclusion, TechnoMage is great in everything except gameplay, which is unfortunate because this is a game. The music, the visuals, and really every part of presentation gives the game a real sense of life and character, a really authentic fantasy atmosphere. Sadly, the gameplay is monotonous, and the story takes too long to properly get started and give me some incentive. Which is a shame, because someone clearly put effort into the world building and background details. If you're curious to see what lies ahead, have some spare time and change, more patience than me, and live in Europe, then why not? Its repetitive basic gameplay just isn't for me. So out of ignore, try, and buy, I would give it my recommendation of try. It seems like the classic example of style over substance. Its strong points, although very much present, don't cover over the board in my experience. I mean, I only spent around 4 hours on it, but if an RPG doesn't grab me in that time, I'm afraid it never may. Maybe something great lies further in, but seeing as it is so far, I'm not gonna chance it. I guess you could say I ran out of steam. Okay, I'll stop now.